Okay, hello folks, this is Cameron Goebel here. I am your technical training specialist from EOD over in HR, and I want to share with you this week's exciting developments in the IT onboarding training development process. So if you've been following along, you know that we've gone into using a Canvas style of documenting all the trainings that need to happen for a new hire to come on. And last meeting was really exciting because the trainer supervisor over in IT had created his own Canvas-style training based on the no dial tone problem that was pretty common. And so at this point, I'm very confident that he knows how to use the Canvas, and he's been really excited about adopting it and using it because it lets you see at a glance what your training is going to be about. It's better than just one of those brain dump documents. If you're curious about that, then you need to look at some of the other videos that are in this series. What our plan was for this week was to get together and then start inventorying all of the trainings that would have to happen for a new hire who would just come on within the first week to be able to get up to speed rapidly on IT operations that they could support within the first week. There's also orientation toward the IT department as a business, so it's things like signing in for your hours or opening the shop up in the morning, that kind of thing. So we were going to get together and do this, and I had expected to show up and bring a ton of like post-it notes and maybe throw some stuff up on the screen and start just cataloging all the skills and all the work and all the different levels. But imagine my surprise when I found out that they had actually already done all of that work. So what I'm showing you here are a couple of pictures. I'll just go ahead and bring this up. This was the inventory that they performed on all the skills that have to happen for new hires, for the various user support consultants, USC 1, USC 2, and USC 3. And these are staged sort of career path processes or progressions that a new hire would be expected to go through. So the new hire shows up, they get a 6-month evaluation or something like that. And within that 6 months, they need to show that they can really strongly perform these certain skills before they can move on to USC 1, at which point they've got the solid position and a little more responsibility. Same thing with USC 2. You're basically a USC 1 plus 1. Does that make sense? So you should be able to do everything that the level lower than you can do, and you should be able to train on that level as well. So a USC 1 should be able to do training for a new hire, and a USC 2 should be able to do training for a USC 1. Does that make sense? So what you're seeing here, I love that they even used the Canvas style model for this too. They didn't just like make long lists and just make like bullet points. They actually put every skill on a post-it note, and then they put that post-it note onto a Canvas style document. And this is exactly what I was going to have them do in the first place. So it's awesome. So every little post-it note that you see up there is a skill. And what this is allowing us to do is to take a look at the entire training progression for somebody from onboarding, the second they walk through the door on their first day, all the way up to wherever they happen to make it to in their career before they move on. Now, these are for student employees, but we did the same thing for staff, or they did the same thing for staff too. What's interesting too, and this is the step that we're going to take it to in a little while, is that the boxes on the top are an inventory of where the training is now. What they already know the training has to be like now. This is how they implement it currently. On the bottom half is where they know they want their training to end up. So we know we're going to make changes to the training program. The top shows us what the system is like now. The bottom is where we're going to start moving things into what the system is going to look like later. So they started to do a little bit of development down there. And I'm sorry that this picture is not very high res. You know, it's an iPod, man, what do you want? But what's really exciting about this is, again, at a glance, we can see where the majority of the training happens, where the little bits pop out, and we can very quickly identify, okay, what are the gaps between what we have and what we need. So this is great. I myself am a real enthusiast for Post-it notes. This is what my life looks like in my office. So I use a Post-it note racetrack lean development kind of canvas that I've been putting together myself. So finding that these guys adopted their own Canvas style really makes me enthusiastic that we're on the right track. We're building a format and a way of thinking about training that's really going to work for these guys. So, what's the next step for them? This is the most exciting part of all. Each of those post-it notes represents a lesson that has to happen in the training, right? That is a ton of lessons to build. So, we hit on the idea that we should actually have the students and the staff develop their own training and develop those training documents using the onboarding canvas that we've come up with. We figure that the canvas style is so straightforward and intuitive to use that they are going to be able to, with very little training, create their own canvases, one for each of those little post-it notes. And so they've got a staff of about 30 people there. We figure there are probably 60 post-it notes up there. That's 2 for each person. So we're going to start with the first week's worth of training. Our trainer over in IT, Al, is going to direct his people to create the canvases for each one of those first post-it notes that was in the first that new hire box up there for the first week. Then we're going to get together after they've had a few weeks to put that together. Al and I are going to get together and we're going to do a quality review, and we're going to see if that canvas really does hold up as an intuitive format that allows you to quickly and at a glance develop training documentation for your IT staff. I'm really looking forward to the report on that one. I'll let you know how it goes. In the meantime, thanks very much. My name is Cameron Goebel. I'm looking forward to working with you. Thanks.